Hi everyone, this is Holly with Reiki Light Blessings. I hope your holidays were good and I hope your winter is going well. We are now in February, which I love because spring is just around the corner. 1 month away and we will be officially in spring. I'm very excited. I love spring, the new growth, the promise of summer coming will almost be here. Spring is almost here. I have a couple of messages I would like to share with you today. They have been pulling on my heart. The first one is letting go of conditions, and the second is how to listen to your inner voice. I did have a student who recently asked me how to listen to her inner voice, and it was a great question. It made me think deeper on what is our inner voice and how do we listen to it. I'll be discussing that as well today. First of all, conditions. Conditions can be born out of fear. They can be born out of perfectionism, a way to control things. They can also be born out of love. So the conditions that I am talking about today of letting go of is the limiting conditions, the conditions that say, when I do this, then this will happen. If this happens, then I will do this. A lot of times conditions look like a timeline. So what's in our best interest at times is to let go of that time frame. A couple of examples would be, I will write the book when I have more time. I will write the book, or I will start my own business when my child starts school. If I had done this, Chrysalis Road would not have happened in the way that it did. Chrysalis Road was written when Ellie was taking naps. I did feel at times that, boy, am I able to do this? And then I started the groove. So I let go of that timeline. Another time issue for me actually happened in April and May. I had a dermatology issue. I had two where I had to have deep excisions of 2 areas on my back. One of the conditions I had is that I wanted the procedures done close together so that I would be able to spend the summer in the pool under the water, knowing that the excision, both of them would take some time to heal. That was one of the conditions that I had. I called to schedule the appointments and they gave me a timeline of 2 months apart. I was very disappointed. I hung up the phone after that, and before that I'd asked the nurse, is there anything that I can do? Can I be put on a waiting list? She said, no, we don't hold waiting lists. Your only option is to call back daily and check for cancellations. I definitely felt deflated and disappointed. So then I realized that I was putting conditions on my healing as far as the time frame of how close I wanted them together, the 2 procedures. So what happened next was so beautiful. I literally sat after the phone call and I said to God, I let go of this condition and I accept the healing that is meant for me. So within an hour, I received a call from the office saying, one of the nurses saying, I am not supposed to be doing this, but I have a cancellation so that I can get your appointments 1 week apart. If you would like this, then I'll go ahead and schedule you, but that is not something that I was supposed to be doing, but I did think of you. I definitely felt like God had heard me and answered my prayer. That was after I let go of the conditions and I just put in my heart, I accept the healing that is meant for me. So that was a very neat example of letting go of conditions. Conditions can also look like how far away we would like our job. So sometimes conditions do work if it's from our heart, if our family is needing us, so a long commute would not work. Those kind of things, if it's coming from your heart, then yes. But if it's coming from too much control and exactly how you want things to be perfect, then let's let go of that. When I had first moved to Colorado, it'd take me 4 months to find a job. Even though I had a lot of experience, I had 15 years of experience in hospital work. I was able to get an interview with 2 locations. Both of them was a far commute, so I had to throw the commuting factor out the door. These were the 2 options that came to me. One option, it just did not feel right. So they gave me the offer of the job, and I told them that I needed to wait for the interview for the second job the next day. At the second job, I found myself saying to my future boss, "This feels like home." They both had big commutes. I went more on feeling. So let go of those conditions and follow your inner voice. Another thing that we can do sometimes is the win. So I've had, in my life, I've had people say, "I'm going to start that fitness class with you after I lose 5 pounds. Let's not wait. You don't need to lose 5 pounds. I want you to follow your inner voice. Does this fitness class feel good to me? Is this something that I really want? Don't worry about images and appearances. Go ahead and jump in and start. Let go of these limiting conditions." This also varies from person to person, so it's very important that you listen to your own inner voice and not anyone else's. That is something that I always teach. Your inner voice is your greatest teacher, not anyone else's, just yours. So listen to your inner voice. What does our inner voice sound like? What does it feel like? So our inner voice does communicate in several different ways. The first one I'm going to talk about is feeling, and that's the primary source, so that's one that you can connect to easily. What I had instructed my student to do was to just sit quietly inside, outside, just find a place that's a little more quiet so you can really connect to feeling. And then I want you to think about all of your dislikes. So for examples, my dislikes are snakes, wet socks. So if I am wearing socks and I step in water, it really bothers me. You can go to foods. So I'm not really keen on seafood. And sometimes it's neat because our inner voice is telling us what is good for us. So seafood for me, I do have a little bit of a sensitivity where I've had an allergic reaction on my mouth. So that was definitely something that was in my best interest not to eat. You can think of fighting. I don't like fighting. I could put myself in that situation, whether I'm in a room and 2 other people are fighting or if I'm fighting with someone. It's just something that I very much dislike. So when you sit quietly and you think of your dislikes, whether it's anything, clothes, activities, anything like that, I want you to listen and hear those feelings in your body. Feel it. So what happens to me is my stomach tightens. I feel contracted. I feel kind of heavy. Those are the feelings that my inner voice is communicating with me about my dislikes. Then I want you to go in and think about your likes. So it could be anything: warm, sunny days, being outside, activities, foods. Just call any like that comes to your mind and then really connect with the feeling of each like. For me, when I am connecting with my likes, I feel expanded, I feel light, I feel joy, a smile will come to your mouth. All of those things are signs from your inner voice with communication. So if I want to sit quietly, or if I'm in an activity or I'm thinking about a job, for instance, the 2 jobs, they were very similar, both long commutes. One just did not feel right, and the other one felt light. It felt like home. It brought me joy. Just sit quietly with any decision that you're making, or if you're wanting guidance. Sometimes our inner voice speaks all of a sudden and you're like, it's a cue to me to really say, what is going on here? And it's such a beautiful guidance tool. It is your greatest teacher, your inner voice. I want to wish everybody very, very much love. Valentine's Day is coming upon us very soon. My family and I will be traveling. I'm very excited. There's been a lot of snow here, so I am ready for some sunshine and I'm ready to see family. But I want to wish you all the very, very best in this February, and follow your inner voice, let go of conditions, and then see what happens. And listen, God is in control. Every time we think that we're in control, this isn't talking about taking accountability, but control in our life. God will answer that He is in control. Just send your desires up to Him and then let go and see what happens. Okay. I love you. Bye.